Hello and welcome to the FLW TV betting show. My name is George Harbey, and as always, I'm joined by Preston fan Ben Wignall. Ben, how you doing?
Doing all right. We finally got somewhere last week. A bank came in Wigan. Half my wildcard came in, which is pretty agonising. And hopefully some good picks to get stuck into today.
Yes, and Chris Gallagher, your debut on FLW TV. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks. Looking forward to it. Hope we can get a few winners.
Let's hope so. And so a full fixture list in the EFL this weekend. The Championship League 1 and League 2 is back, and we've got plenty of lovely bets lined up. So hopefully, as the lads have said, we pick a few winners. As always, make sure to subscribe to FLW TV on YouTube. Give us a follow and give us a comment as well, and see if you agree with our bets. Right then, let's get into our first one. Yeah, so up first, as always, it's the banker, the best bet, the bet we think simply will not fail, and we definitely think it's going to win. Ben, your banker for this weekend, please.
Well, I went pretty safe last week with Wigan. They were odds on, but I've gone for this. Could have easily been my value tip, but Sheffield United away at Hull 29-20, I think is for what Hull have shown after the first day, which we don't talk about against Preston because that seems to be a bit of an anomaly. They've not really picked up on that. They've been a few draws and a few losses, and I think they went down pretty tamely against Blackburn in midweek. And I think since the international break, I think Sheffield United, I've seen enough of them against Peterborough and against PNE to suggest that they've got it clicking going forward. They're maybe not there defensively yet. I think Jack Robinson's probably the weak link, and if Ben Davies is back for Saturday, I think that'll be even more of a banker for this. But I think they've got more than enough going forward with Sheffield United to do damage on Hull. If Billy Sharp's on form, and I assume Sander Berge will probably come back into the team after his good cameo on Tuesday. So I think 29-20 is a cracking price for Sheffield United going to Hull and getting a win.
No, I agree. Good odds there. Well worth a punt, I'd say. Chris, what have you gone with for your banker this week?
I've gone the other half of Sheffield. I've gone for Sheffield Wednesday at home to Shrewsbury in League One, obviously. They obviously had a heavy defeat to Plymouth last week, but at home, I think they're 100% and haven't let in a goal, and this Shrewsbury haven't scored or won away themselves. So I think you've got to be concerned with the way they played last week, but Darren Moore's got a good squad there. They've got a lot of options, especially going forward, and I think they should have too much on the day for Shrewsbury.
Very much so. So two Sheffield picks. I'm going a bit more southern. I'm going with goals as well. I'm sure we'll touch on them later on in the show, but Wimbledon and Plymouth. Over 2.5 goals is evens in some markets, evens on Sky. And I just think that is, well, not only just the banker, but also brilliant value. I'm sure Chris Thorpe will vouch for this, but Wimbledon are very entertaining to watch at the moment. The last three games are 4-3, 3-1 and 2-2. Plymouth as well score a lot, 3-0, 1-1, 3-0, 1-1. So two teams there who, are doing okay in League One, and nowhere both nets are really, for good and for bad. So as I said, banker over 2.5 goals in Wimbledon versus Plymouth. I think that is a very a favourable price and a good one to back. Right then, moving on to Arca. Yep, accumulator time. As always, we pick 3 or 4 or 5 teams who we think we'll deliver the goods. Ben, you're accumulated this week. What have you got?
Well, I don't think my two for the first 2 weeks have gone very well. So hopefully this one will come in. I think it pays around 24-1. It's a 5-fold. I've gone with 2 games in the Championship. I've gone with Huddersfield to beat Nottingham Forest. I know sometimes they have the kind of new manager kick after being sacked teams, but I think from what I've seen of Forest, it doesn't seem like they'll get out of a rut just too soon. And Huddersfield, I know Blackpool aren't a great team, but they dispatched them pretty easily in the second half in midweek, and they look very, very strong going forward. And I can see them winning by 1 or 2 goals. The other game in the Championship, I've got QPR to beat Bristol City. Bristol City still look blunt in attack. I think Vyman's got a few goals, but Martin's not really delivering the goods. Wells isn't really starting. QPR have got a very strong squad, and obviously they went down to Bournemouth and lost on in midweek, but I think there's nothing to be ashamed of. I think Bournemouth are a very good team, and I fancy QPR to get back to winning ways here. One game in League One, I've got Chris's Banky Sheffield Wednesday to beat Shrewsbury. Obviously, not a great result last week against Plymouth. I think it was pretty unexpected. Obviously, they hadn't conceded a goal from an opposition player. Obviously, Adeniran scored an own goal at Morecambe, and that was the only one they conceded. So I think that came as a bit of a shock to everyone last week, and definitely think Shrewsbury's a good game for them to get back on the winning trail, because they're not in great form this season. And 2 games in League Two, I've got Carlisle to beat Scunthorpe. I think Scunthorpe they look very poor this season. They've done some pretty dire transfer business. They've got rid of a lot of the top earners and replaced them with younger players that probably aren't up to the level of League Two even. So I think Carlisle probably should have a comfortable win there. And then I've got Exeter who beat Scunthorpe 4-0 last week away from home. They've got Sutton who've won 2 games in a row. They're kind of settling into the Football League now, but I just think Exeter should have too much from going forward. Matt Jay is in pretty good form for them. So QPR, Huddersfield, Carlisle, Exeter and Sheffield Wednesday pays 24-1.
Very well. Well, I'll create that banner across the bottom so you can have a look at Ben's prediction in a minute and see if you want to follow that. Chris, what have you gone with for your mate?
Yeah, I've obviously stuck Wednesday in as the banker, so hopefully they can do the business. And then again, Ben covered Sheffield United, and I agree entirely, really. I think they're a very good price at Hull. As he said, they're clicking now going forward. Gibbs White's made an instant impact, and they've got just a lot of goals, I think, now. And the midfield looks impressive. Elsewhere, I've gone for Middlesbrough in the Championship as well, at home to Blackpool. Warnock's side, they've obviously had a mixed start, but the win at Forest, I think the way Sporar took the goal, that he could be the clinical striker they need, and they're usually pretty strong at home, Warnock's teams, and I think they need to start building momentum now, and this is a great fixture to start to make it back-to-back wins and then push on. Then another home in the League One with Portsmouth. Again, the Cowley's teams are usually pretty solid, and I think they'll see Cambridge at home as a good chance to pick up the points. Did a very good start, and then they haven't continued that, but they've got a lot of quality in the team, and they should be able to get the points at Fratton Park. And finally, again, another home team, Bradford at home to Barrow in League Two. Barrow, they've impressed me, to be honest, in League Two, but the Bradford I fancy to be up there at the end of the season. Derek Adams obviously took Morecambe up last season, and I think he'll get Bradford close again. So this is the sort of game they'll need to win. I think it's just over 21-1, so hopefully worth a quid or two.
Yeah, not bad odds again. Lovely stuff. And I've gone with a fourfold this time. I've gone Huddersfield to win at home to Forest. I know that obviously Forest at the minute, you could say that new manager bounce, but at the same time, it's Stephen Reid, it's Chris Hughton's assistant, so I don't see much changing in that respect. And also just think Huddersfield at home at the minute, well, Huddersfield in general, to be fair, really impressive team. I've heard a lot of good things from Alfie about them, but to go to Blackpool and score 3 goals, he put 4 past Reading a couple of weeks ago, and I just think that going forward, they'll have too much, especially having watched Forest struggle against teams who are very good on the ball. I think Huddersfield's energy and their tenacity and the way they break through the lines will be good there. So that's 11-10. I've gone with Sheffield Wednesday at home to Shrewsbury for the reasons you boys have said. I just think that Sheffield Wednesday at home should have far too much. I think Mansfield, Rochdale both teams to score is a good shout as well. Mansfield have be both teams to score 5 of their 7 League Two games so far, and I just think that defensively Nigel Clough isn't too happy with them at the moment. Rochdale are going along nicely. I think they're 6th in League Two, scoring a fair few goals, and Mansfield score a few as well. And also I've put in a Birmingham to win at Peterborough and both teams to score. I know that's a bit of a long shot for an Akka, but I just think that both of these teams score goals. Birmingham went to Luton and scored 5 the other week, and the other night they obviously lost 4-1 to Fulham. I think Peterborough also score a fair few goals, but also, they conceded 6 to Sheffield United, obviously a very good team. But I just think Birmingham get the win there, but I can see goals. So that's a fourfold, 25-1, and that Birmingham shout at the end is 7-2. Right then, let's move on to our value tip. Yep, value tip time. I think I'm going to start with Ben again here, because I think he's got a bit of a rogue shout for everyone watching. So Ben, fire away.
Well, I don't like doing this because I never religiously back North End, either the winning or losing. But I just think 3-1 at home to West Brom, who struggled to. They obviously had a lot of chances against Derby, but they couldn't find the back of the net. I just think, with the momentum that PNE have got from that last-minute goal at Bramall Lane, I just think 3-1's like incredible value. West Brom, obviously, they could turn it on like they have done in the first 5 games before the international break, but just from what I've seen against Derby, they weren't clinical, they weren't taking the chances, and Rouge made a few decent stops, to be fair. But I think PNE they've got them first 3 games out of the way. They lost against Huddersfield, Hull and Reading, and they look like a completely different team now. They're playing good attacking football, scored twice against Sheffield United. They've still got a few things to sort out defensively, but I just think that 3-1, there's not much better value in the Football League this week. I mean, I'm not saying there's that certainty to win or anything, because obviously West Brom are a very good team. I just think the 3-1, it's something that caught my eye. I think we should be a little bit shorter than that, considering what West Brom have done in the last 2 games.
Let's say I hope so for your benefit. I hope it comes in, not just for the money, obviously, but also because it's your team. Chris, what's your value tip for this weekend, mate?
Well, I went for Forest, but the way you two have spoken about it, it's obviously a bit risky. But no, I think the team is. I looked at Forest at the start of the season. I thought they'd be pushing playoffs, top 10. I like their centre halves. I think are good. They've got Garner midfield, and I think they're a decent championship side. And at Huddersfield, I thought they'd struggle. So I know the start of the season has been a disaster for Forest, but sometimes the manager change can just free up a few players. They might want to impress someone watching on. I don't actually think there's much between the teams at all. So for Forest to be 13-5, I think they are. I think that's a good price for. But they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to get relegated. I think they've got a good enough side to push up. They're going to have to start getting results. And I don't think there's much between the teams at all. Obviously, you've got to respect Huddersfield's form, especially as you said at home. But I think Forest could nick a win there on Saturday. Yeah,
that's a fair shout. And I think also with Forest as well, they don't lose by a lot either. It's always, to quote a former manager, it's fine margins. So no, it's a very. You can't fault it. It should be a good game. Me and Alfie both be there tomorrow afternoon. My value tip is actually, as Ben said earlier, Sheffield United at Hull. I know Sheffield United were left frustrated by North End in midweek. That late goal for Emil Rees in stoppage time. I'm sure that caused a few wild celebrations in the Wignall household. But I think United at the minute, you're just clicking. Put 6 past Peterborough last week, and obviously. They scored 2 in midweek as well. I just think going forward, they've found their feet a bit now. Obviously, Morgan Gibbs-White has been proven to be a fantastic addition so far. And Hull haven't obviously scored a goal since they put 4 past North End on opening day. So I just think I know the game isn't played on paper, but I just think if you compare the 2 teams there, I just think Sheffield United have got far too much. I mean, it's obviously on Sky, and that sometimes can work against teams for some reason. So that's a half-time kickoff there. But at 29-20, I think it's something that's definitely worth a shout. So hopefully the Blades, from my perspective, do the business this weekend. Right, let's get into our final one, the Wildcard. Yep, as always, just rounding off with the Wildcard. Bit of a fun one. I think George Douglas, was he successful last week, Ben? Or did you say he came close?
Over 5.5 goals in Ipswich Bolton, which I think came in just around midway through the second half. So he did all right. It was about 12-1.
Yeah, and you've took inspiration this week, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I was frustrated last week. I had my anytime goal scorer double, and Will Nightingale for Wimbledon scored with about 15 minutes ago, and Beckles for Leyton Orient couldn't do the same. So I was a bit frustrated with that one. So I've gone with the over 5.5 goals team again, and hopefully it'll pay dividends. And I've gone with a game you've spoke about already in Wimbledon versus Plymouth. I think Wimbledon's games have been the most exciting in the Football League this season. Sorry, the 4-3 against Morecambe last week, 3-3 against Bolton, and they're playing against a Plymouth team who put 3 past Sheffield Wednesday, which is no mean feat. And they've got Harbey and Jeffcott up front, who are both in good form. Over 5.5 goals is 10-1. I'm just worried about Chris Thorpe. I don't know how good all these goals are for and against, or for his health. The 94th minute winner as well last week at Morecambe. I think there could be a lot of goals in this one. So 10-1 for over 5.5. It could be another goal bonanza.
Well, let's hope so, and hopefully Chris Thorpe is okay this weekend. Chris Gallagher, your wild card for this weekend?
They've gone for Mitrovic to get a hat-trick for Fulham against Reading. I think it's about 16-18 to 1, and we know how good Fulham are. They just can blow teams away, can't they? And Reading have the joint worst defence in the league, and Liam Moore went off injured in the week, so you've got to think Mitrovic is going to fancy his chances at this weekend. I think Reading will make a game of it, but I could see Fulham like getting 4 or 5 maybe, and that Mitrovic is the man, isn't he? He's going to score at this level.
Wow, I think if I was going to have a bet on anyone to score a hat-trick in the Championship, I think it will be Mitrovic, to be fair. So I'm sure Sam Rolt won't be happy, but that could well come in there. And my wild card is very wild, to be fair. I've gone with the same as I did last week. It nearly came in last week. I think I was a few goals off, but I've gone with Wimbledon Plymouth, both teams scoring both halves. I just think, again, it's going to be a crazy game at Plough Lane this weekend. I just think there'll be goals in that, and hopefully they come either side of half time for both teams. And also, I've gone with Cheltenham versus Oxford, the same as well. I think Cheltenham are both teams to score in the last 5 games, and they're top of the both teams to score table. I've done my research there. And Oxford are 5th in that table as well. So, again, when you have a feeling there's going to be goals, that's what I'm thinking this weekend, and that comes in at a whopping 155 to 1. So I could be living well this weekend if I put a quid on that. But no, that's all our bets for this weekend. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you drop us a subscribe on YouTube, give us a follow on Twitter if you agree with our bets, then or you don't agree with our bets, put them in the comments. And make sure you watch next time. We've got a weekend preview show later on with Ned, Marcus, and Ben as well. So make sure you tune into that. But until then, take care.